This is the Montana Fire Update for Saturday, September 9th. I'm Chris Barth, a Public Information Officer and Fire Mitigation Education Lead for the BLM Montana-Dakotas. I'm coming to you today while out on a fire assignment in western Colorado. Not to sound like a broken record, but once again there are multiple red flag warnings in effect for the western half of Montana. Some of the red flag warnings run through tonight, others extend through Sunday night. There's a chance for isolated thunderstorms in these areas which can cause gusty winds, erratic fire behavior, and lightning, which can start new fires. The gusty winds that accompany any developing thunderstorms may help clear out some of the smoke. However, an air quality alert remains in effect for large portions of western Montana due to hazardous, very unhealthy, and unhealthy air conditions. Now, here's a sobering statistic. Of the roughly 1,750 wildfires which have been reported so far this year in Montana, 966 of them have been caused by people. We have begun receiving reports that some rural residents are burning trash in burn barrels, fires which are getting out of hand and starting new wildfires. There are fire restrictions in place across the entire state. Don't be foolish and light a fire which can get away. Often those first responders are volunteer firefighters, your friends and neighbors, who have to leave their families or their jobs to try and halt the advance of a fire. So please heed all current fire restrictions. For information, you can go to firerestrictions.us for details. Now let's take a look at the current fire situation. There are 47 active wildland fires in the Northern Rockies, covering over 740,000 acres. There are 69 hand crews, 321 engines, and nearly 4,800 firefighters assigned to these fires. The Rice Ridge Fire near Seeley Lake remains the largest fire currently burning in Montana. They weren't able to get an infrared flight over the fire last night, so there's no new acreage update.
Resources are scarce and the potential for significant wildland fires is high and expected to remain high. So for example, on the Rice Ridge Fire, critical resource needs include 5 Type 1 hand crews, 4 Type 2 initial attack crews, 5 task force leaders, 5 heavy equipment bosses, 10 Type 6 engines, 10 Type 2 water tenders, and 2 large trippers. This is equivalent to 360 needed personnel. Every fire in the country has a similar list, so it's a challenge every day to assign resources where they are most needed and can be most effective.
Thanks, Jeanette. Turning our attention to the Caribou Fire burning along the U.S.-Canadian border, that fire is now 21,500 acres and 25% contained. Firefighters plan to construct fire line along the northern flank of Marias Mountain and in the Blacktail Creek area today. Inside Glacier National Park, the Sprague Fire is over 13,000 acres, with the Adair Creek Fire a tenth of that size. In addition, the Elder Creek Fire, which started in Canada, has moved across the international boundary with 170 acres now in Glacier. Last night, the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office temporarily closed a section of Highway 200 and issued a mandatory evacuation notice to 11 residents. Due to the expanded active fire behavior again today, there could be further temporary closures of the highway. And finally today, the Highway 200 complex along the road near Plains and Thompson Falls is reported at over 20,000 acres and 14% contained. Firefighters have taken advantage of favorable recent weather conditions to establish structure protection lines. A community meeting is set for tonight at 7 p.m. at the Plains High School. As always, for the latest information on these fires and other fires burning around Montana and the nation, go to ncweb.nwcg.gov. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.